Today, I'm going to be giving you guys the best settings to be using in Season 5 Warzone. Now, this is for controller players only. I do not play keyboard and mouse, so I can't help you with that. But we're going to be going through the graphics tab, the interface tab, the controller settings, everything. So without further ado, let's hop directly into it. Now, starting off with the graphics tab, I do play on a 1440p monitor, so this might be different for you guys. But you do want to play on full screen exclusive if you're on PC. I'm pretty sure this gives you the least amount of input lag. Not completely sure about that, but I just do it anyway because why not? NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, definitely turn this on, or on plus boost, especially if you have a better graphics card. I would 100% go with on plus boost, but in my case I only have a 3070 Ti, so I just go with on. Now, something a little bit weird, I was having a lot of screen tearing issues happening in my game a little bit ago, and that was because the VSync menus was on. I don't know if this is like a new setting or something, but it automatically turned on for me and it was really annoying to deal with, so make sure you have VSync off on gameplay and menu. Going over to the quality tab, I keep my render resolution on 100. You don't need to go up or down on this, just keep it at 100. Upscaling and sharpening, I go with fidelity cast. Now, this is just how your game looks. Apparently it's like the best one, makes your game look as clean as it can be, and then you go into show more and put this on 100. VRAM scale target, keep that on 70. And then you also want to have variable rate shading on. Getting into the details and textures, these are just the settings that my friend gave me and they've been working perfectly fine for me. My game looks amazing. So starting from the top, we want to go normal for the texture resolution, high on the texture filter, depth of field, turn that off, detail quality, turn it on low, particle resolution, turn it on very low, bullet impacts, turn it off. Honestly though, you could turn this on if you really want to. Persistent effects, turn that off. Shader quality, turn it low. On-demand texture streaming, put it on minimal. And then local texture streaming quality, put that on low. Getting into the shadow and lighting, you pretty much want to turn all these on low or off. So starting from the top, we go shadow quality, go very low, off, off, low. For the environment, go off, low, off, off. So as you guys can tell, pretty much everything is either low or off on these bottom settings. Getting into one of the most important tabs is the view tab. Now, you guys want to be playing on 120 FOV. This makes your visual recoil basically non-existent. And that's why all you guys think that these pro players and these good players are just cheating all the time because they have no recoil. No, it's just 120 FOV unaffected ADS field of view. Other than that, pretty much everything else on here can just stay the same, except for maybe turning off your camera movement for first person, put it on at least 50%, and turning off your world and weapon motion blur. Getting into the audio tab, now I have a different audio interface than a lot of people because I do have a Go XLR. I just keep everything on 100 and I just go over to my Go XLR and change my audio there. I would say my audio right now is probably about 65% on my Go XLR, so I don't keep it super loud, but I keep it loud enough for me to be able to hear things. And then the audio mix, I go with Sucker Punch. Don't know if this is the best or not. I just know a lot of CDL pros were using Sucker Punch, so that's what I put on. Now, getting into the interface, there's not really much here except for the telemetry. This is just the stuff you see on the top left of your screen. I do keep an FPS counter on, my server latency and packet loss just to see where my connection is. And if I have any packet loss, then I can figure out that issue. Just FPS counter, server latency, and packet loss. That's all you need to see. Going over to the gameplay HUD, you do want to go to your crosshair and put it on static. This just makes it so your crosshair is still visible on your screen, but it's not going to be moving all over the place when you move your screen. So it stays in one place so you know where the middle of your screen is, and it's great for your centering. These are the crosshair settings if you do want to copy them down. And now getting into the bread and butter of the settings. We're going to be going over my controller settings. Now, I know a lot of you probably aren't familiar with me, but these are my stats in the game right now. I have a 6.75 KD, almost 11,300 kills, 127 wins, and my highest kill game is 54, but it's probably a lot higher than that, honestly. And actually, my last game that I just played was 45 eliminations and 11.2 KD. So, and actually going to look at some of my weapon accuracies, I have almost a 40% accuracy on pretty much every gun in the game. If not a 40, it's definitely above 30, 100%. So I would say that my shots are pretty accurate. And just to give you guys a little bit of background of what controller I use, I have just switched over to a PS5 Reflex. Now, before I was just on a regular Battle Beaver PS4 controller, but if you guys are not on a PS5 controller yet, I would 100% recommend this. They just are so responsive compared to the PS4 controllers. I mean, these came out like what, 15 years ago or something like that. And the PS5 controllers literally have faster response times and they just feel so good. So if you haven't switched yet, I would definitely do that. But on the back of my controller, as you can see, I do have 4 paddles here. I only use 2 of them really, which is my jump and my slide because I do play default button layout. But if you don't have a controller with paddles, then you're severely at a disadvantage, especially because movement nowadays is just so advanced. You need to get on something with some paddles or a different button layout or something like that so you guys can jump and crouch and all that stuff while you're aiming. And then as you can tell, my right stick is raised a little bit. Now, I've been playing with Control Freaks ever since I was on Xbox 360 and I cannot recommend these enough. Obviously, I don't need them now because they come built into my controller, but this was the actual controller that I used to use. And as you can tell, I used to use a very tall Control Freak. And like I said, I can't recommend this enough. I think this makes your accuracy so much better. It gives you more range of motion. So when you guys are aiming, you can make those little adjustments a lot easier, or you can play at a higher sensitivity and feel like you're shooting really straight. I just think that tall sticks are just a must nowadays. But anyways, anyways, getting back into the settings, I play on a 1.6, 1.6. I feel like this is just a perfect sweet middle spot. It feels like a 6.6 or a 7.7 sensitivity. I don't really know exactly what it is. It took me a long time to try to find my settings just because I knew what I liked to play on before and everything just felt so different nowadays. So if you guys still have this problem like I did, literally just pick some settings and just stick to it. Your muscle memory will kick in and you'll be playing great. And just don't be messing around with your settings a lot because it'll mess up your muscle memory and you need that. I know something that's a little bit weird is I do play with vibration on. I know a lot of people don't recommend this, but I'm going to tell you guys why I play with this on. I know it's super weird. I just know how many bullets I need to be shooting into somebody and I can feel that in my controller. And that's just the best way that I can explain it. When I turn this off, I'm just like missing my shots. I stop shooting people early because I think that I killed them, but I don't because I didn't put enough bullets into them. It's just like another sense in my body that I know that I either killed somebody or didn't or whatever it is. And I just don't think I will ever turn this off, honestly. Getting into my dead zones, I play on a 3 left stick minimum and a 75 left stick maximum. This is because the movement in this game is super advanced and you want to be able to go left and right super fast without having any like build up ramp speed or anything like that. And then for my right stick minimum, I play on a 5. This has always been 5 even since Warzone 1. I don't think I've ever went down. I think the aim assist is just so strong in this game that playing on anything less than 5 is you're just going to lose aim assist. And then on my right stick, I use a 99 max. Getting into the sensitivity multipliers, I do play on a 0.80 ADS sensitivity. Now this used to be a 1.0. I played on that for a long time, but I just found out that getting in those long range engagements, it was very, very nice having a 0.8 because it kind of just did the work for me. It felt like it was kind of a learning curve to have to turn this down and do close range gunfights because movement in this game is just insane. And obviously my aim was slower than it was before. So I had to try to compensate for that. But 0.80 feels really good. Getting to the aiming advanced tab. Obviously you want to be on dynamic response curve. If you're not on this, you're literally putting yourself at a disadvantage. And I do not suggest you guys do that. Getting into the movement. This is a really, really big one. You guys want to copy down all of these settings. Tactical sprint assist is a must in Warzone. But turn this on tactical sprint assist means if you just push your stick forward, you're going to be tactical sprinting. Put the sprint assist delay on 0 and turn on sideways and backwards sprinting. Mantle assist, turn that off. You don't want to be mantling in the middle of a gunfight when you're trying to jump shot. That's really annoying. Crouch assist, turn it off. Corner slice, this doesn't really matter that much. You can turn it on or off. It's just all preference. And then slide and dive behavior. If you're not on hybrid, you need to learn how to do it. It took me a long time to get used to this when they implemented it, and I think Modern Warfare 2. But once you guys know how to use it, it is just game changing. Like, it is so nice to be able to have hybrid. Continuing on the list, you want sprint restore on. You want slide, maintain sprint on. Off on parachute automatic behavior. That means if you get close to the ground, it won't automatically pull your chute. So you can get closer to the ground. And honestly, sometimes that's just life or death right there. Cancels reload, turn that off. Movement advanced settings. You guys can copy these down. I don't really change any of this. Getting into the combat settings. I think the only thing that I changed here is armor plate behavior, apply all. Other than that, everything is just the same. And yeah, those are all of my settings for Call of Duty. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are going to try these out or if you have tried them out and if you guys like them or not.